This is the BCMM network. The following broadcast is solely for the enjoyment and entertainment of our audience. This is the Blue Collar Minutemen Show.
Welcome back to the Blue Collar Minutemen Show. Ladies and gentlemen, what you just saw right there at the beginning was the name of the soldiers who lost their lives in the bombing attack in Afghanistan. It was a suicide bomber attack. Our prayers go out to those family members and all those service members. But thank you all for coming back to the Blue Collar Minutemen Show. We'll try to get onto this and get going. Most of this information is probably you all have already seen a lot about, but we're going to try to give you our take on it and how things are going. Bill, how have you been?
I'm doing fantastic. Just hunkered down and watching what's going on.
Yeah. Of course, the big topic is Afghanistan. And I was part of Operation Enduring Freedom, Operation OEF in Afghanistan in 2017. I was at Bagram for a little bit, and I was at Kandahar. And needless to say, I have been quite upset about all of this.
I think everyone with half a brain is.
Yeah. So most of the people have probably heard of this, and Bill, I think we went over it too. You know, this whole thing, it seemed like everything's going along, and all of a sudden you turn around and it's like the Americans are gone. What the heck just happened?
Not the civilians.
Not the civilians.
Not the equipment.
Not the equipment.
Let's get rid of all the soldiers. We'll come back and get the equipment. Don't worry about it. No, the civilians, yeah, they can catch a flight out. Yeah. Okay. Explain to me how anyone with half a brain could come up with that.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to say. I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, those who aren't military, this is an example of how not to do it. Okay. If you want an example of how not to do it, just look at this. This was a debacle. This should have never happened. I personally know when it comes to movement of equipment from one country to another, everything that we had to go through to ensure that that equipment was inspected, make sure it was loaded, make sure it got out. Okay. And this is just the equipment that we took with us, and it had to come back. Now, they just blew my mind when they're like, oh, we're just leaving everything. Because Bill, as you know, if you as a military person lose lose a
daggone shovel.
Shovel, ACOG, nods.
Not to mention what? I think there was 4 C-130s.
Oh, geez.
30 helicopters. I mean, come on, people. Let's see, we had 2,000 or 22,000 Humvees. 22,000 Humvees.
Yeah.
How the hell could that happen? Let's see.
And you know, they're trying to say, look, I know there are a lot of folks out there who wanted us out of the war. I get it. People in the military get it. We know you want us out of the war. But we've got to explain something to you. You cannot just up and leave when nothing is in place for that position to survive after you leave it.
Okay. There was a plan in place. The plan was get all the civilians out,
Mhm.
get all the equipment out, blow up the bases we used, then pull the troops out.
Right.
But lo and behold, it was something Trump came up with, and we can't do that shit. Hell no. So let's do it completely backwards. Okay, let's bring the troops out. Oh shit. We got to put some troops back in. Let's put some more back in. Then the cluster starts. I'm sorry, people. This is just beyond. I can't even wrap my head around why anyone would do this. It is the most idiotic thing that has ever happened in the United States history.
Yes.
The man should be impeached for this big time. If not impeached, tried for treason. I mean, that's
Yes.
just ridiculous. Just because you didn't like Trump, you didn't want to go with his plan, you say, okay, we're going to do it totally opposite. And of course, we see where that went.
Mm-hmm. Now, while we're kind of on that, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of argument right now that coming from Biden and his administration that, well, you all just don't understand. This deal was made by Trump. Trump made a deal. I have received messages on Facebook from old friends saying, oh, well, your president made the deal when he was in office. He made a deal with the Taliban. Let's clarify this deal that Trump made a little for him, Bill, because
It was a ceasefire.
Right.
That didn't work. It's what, 24 hours within the ceasefire, the Taliban already started attacking American troops, or actually attacking Afghan troops. And so we bombed them. Within 24 hours, that deal was gone.
Right.
There was no deal. It was already gone.
And let's get something straight. Trump, when he was in office, he said he will negotiate a deal. That was his whole thing. Never had a president like this. He was going to negotiate a deal to make things better, and he did. Now, does that make him soft? No, because if the deal didn't go through, he's going to spank you for it. And I'm going to read from you right here. This came from the BBC, and this was during the deal that Trump made in the ceasefire. And this is from BBC. It says, U.S. military has conducted an airstrike against Taliban fighters in Afghanistan just hours after President Trump said he had a very good talk with the leader of the group. The U.S. signed a deal with the Taliban, says on Saturday, aimed at bringing peace to Afghanistan after years of war. But U.S. forces spokesman said it launched an airstrike Wednesday. So he had made the deal on Saturday. The deal fell through because Taliban wasn't acting right. On Wednesday, U.S. launched airstrikes in response to Taliban fighters attacking Afghan forces in Helmand province. The Taliban then called for de-escalation. So does that seem like a weak person to you there, Bill?
No.
Sounds like to me, he negotiated a deal. They tried to test him, and he. This is the deal that everybody's talking about right now, trying to blame Trump. And I think Biden tried to say too, Bill, that they were bound by Trump's deal.
Yeah. Trump's deal was for May. It wasn't for August.
Right.
They've already went past his deal. It was supposed to have been last May.
Right.
So I don't know how you can say we're bound by that deal when you've already negated that deal.
Bill, I think you had some footage of our strong leader.
Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, I just have no words. We're just going to show you our leader speaking to the American public about this situation. Stand by.
God bless you all. And may God
I don't know what he was doing. He looks lost.
Stephanie made steadfast
He's trying to find his page.
in our mission. We will continue after the troops are gone. Find means by which any American wishes to get out of Afghanistan.
Oh, here we go.
Is that accurate? Definitely not. What?
I literally thought he was getting ready to cry.
They have an issue.
Okay, people, does that look like a man who is in charge?
I literally thought he was about to cry because he couldn't take the question.
It's just that commanding presence. Hey, I mean, okay, by this point, I just got to say one thing. I'm going to piss some people off, but at this point, if you still back that man, you have some serious mental problems. There's no way you can back that man as the leader of the free world.
Way mental problems.
Mm-mm-mm.
This, I don't understand it. Here's something from Fox News. And I guess I can't even pronounce this guy's name, Livitz.
Mm-hmm.
Here's how they try to kind of glaze it over, I guess, a little bit by saying, well, we made a little mistake, like it wasn't that big. But Livitz acknowledges Biden administration made some genuine errors regarding contingency plan and the resettlement of Afghan refugees. But as far as conclusions to multi-decades of war goes, America's withdrawal from Afghanistan is thus far proceeding with, listen to this, relatively little chaos and tragedy. Relatively little chaos. And it's far from clear that the withdrawal could have been much more orderly had the White House only executed it in a better way, Livitz added. The fact that he's saying that it's little chaos, little tragedy. Folks, it's not little chaos and little tragedy. This was the dumbest decision, the most stupidest thing that could have been done ever.
Biggest blunder in military history.
I just don't understand how these military generals even followed suit with all of this. I mean, I know we're trained, we follow orders, I get that, but there's also something about following an unlawful order that just seems to get thrown to the wayside. But there is a little bit of good news, right, Bill? Because someone sent in the A team.
All right, when you gotta go do the stuff yourself and you do a hell of a lot better job than the government. Now, what he's talking about is a lieutenant colonel, retired in the Army Special Forces, got a team together, went to Afghanistan. I think the final numbers is over 600 people they rescued from the Taliban and got them out. That's a bunch of civilians, guys who aren't in the military anymore. But the government can't do it.
But they're not going to hear about that on the mainstream media.
And they may, because they actually took a reporter with them to film the whole thing so that somebody would believe it, I guess, that they were doing a better job than the government.
Oh, you mean Slow-Mo Joe and his administration aren't moving fast enough to get it done?
And here's another thing. State Department issued today a warning to all civilians trying to fly into the country to help others.
Really?
Yeah. Don't do it, they said. You're making us look bad.
Folks, are y'all hearing this? We just told you that a group of veterans who love this country, who took that oath that we keep telling you about, took it upon themselves to go in and rescue 600 people. And your administration is too busy bumbling around, trying to cause division, trying to push you over.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Say we're in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
We're in somewhere in Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
Burma, somewhere down in there. We decide we've had enough. We're going home. No more World War II for us.
Mm-hmm.
We want to start flying all of our people out of there. Do you think the guys, the generals in charge at that time would have made a deal with the Japanese to come and guard the air base while we withdrew? Or what if you were in Europe? You think we would have made a deal with the Germans to, why don't you guys guard this air base so we can get on out of here? That's exactly what we did in Afghanistan. They made a deal with the Afghan Taliban to guard the airfield. And why, in God's name, if we're evacuating the country by air, did we desert Bagram Airfield? Just deserted it. Why? Does that make any sense to you?
No, none whatsoever.
Okay. I've got to say it like they've spent all their time the last 6 months being woke.
Mhm.
Okay. Too much time. Let's weed out the bad people out of the military. Let's weed out the, as they say, terrorists or the whatever you want to call them, white supremacists and all that. That's what they
Oh,
spend
yeah.
all the time is, without prepping to do what they needed to do. It's a joke. We are a joke.
Yep.
And who is the only person to get fired over this entire debacle? The one lieutenant colonel from the Marine Corps that had the balls to stand up and ask, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yep.
He got fired. 17-year veteran, Marine Corps, lieutenant colonel, battalion commander, is forced to resign from the military, resign his commission because he questioned what was going on. He stood up for his men and he questioned this madness. And he's the only one getting fired over this madness.
Yeah.
Think about that.
That ticks me off too. That makes me more mad than anything. Because let's not forget, I think we went over it last show, Bill, about you know, what the commandant of the Marine Corps said. And then in response to what he said, you know, Defense Department's like, okay, you all can follow your general if you want to, but you won't get any benefits or any pension.
Hmm.
This is that right there is, it's extortion, it's tyranny. That is not the way this country was made up. That's not the way the military is made up. That is not the way we're supposed to be. But because they sit up in the castle, they think they can dictate to you, me, and everybody else and cut off the money supply and say, well, you're going to go without a roof over your head or go without any income unless you follow suit. That's where we are. That is exactly where we are.
I just don't get it. It was a major screw up. Somebody needs to be held accountable and needs to start right there at the top.
Yes.
Now,
We,
on another note, if we do impeach him, if he does lose his job over this, if he does resign, we're stuck with something even worse.
I know. It's,
Did you see what she did
what did old Kamali do?
in Vietnam? Well, she thought she was laying a wreath or some flowers at a memorial for John McCain. Now, there's a memorial there with John McCain on it, but he's like on his knees with his hands up. It's a memorial honoring the Vietnamese that captured John McCain. Okay. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay. And she goes out and lays a wreath there today. And it's to honor and if you read the inscription, it says to honor the people of Vietnam for capturing the evil aggressors from America. I mean, doesn't she have any interpreters with her that could have like read that thing?
That whole administration is a joke. They are the dumbest bunch of people I've ever seen in my life. Obviously, they don't know history. Obviously, they don't pick up and read anything. And that is what is leading our country.
Like I said, if you still support him, there's something terribly wrong with you.
Well, I kind of have to go back a little bit and just say this. This was what I was trying to tell you about earlier, Bill, was when Trump was still in office, he was trying to explain to the American people, because I mentioned this before, American people want us to get out of the war. They want us to stop. They want us to get out. Nobody understands why we can't get out. You just got to leave. Why can't they do it themselves? Blah, blah, blah. Trump said when he was in office, you cannot just up and leave, because what that does is it creates a vacuum that pulls in the terrorists to take control of the region. What just happened was that vacuum. That's exactly what Trump was saying, and that's exactly why he had a plan in place to do it in a way that did not create the vacuum.
Now, does anybody know the importance of why the Chinese are so interested in that region?
Woo!
Would it be lithium? And
Woo!
you know, that's one of the biggest deposits of lithium in the world. Also got billions and billions and billions of barrels of untapped oil.
Huh, bet nobody knew that, did they?
I bet a few people knew it.
So now, didn't China make a deal with the Taliban?
Well, they made a deal, and BBC showed a video from about 3 days ago, China having a big military parade. And lo and behold, what was in that parade?
Some of our Black Hawks
Some of our Black Hawk helicopters from
still
Afghanistan.
desert, still desert colors.
Yeah. They've already traded, already made deals with them.
But yet, people don't want to listen to us, Bill. They don't want to listen to that their country is being sold out to China and that the administration is a bunch of bums. Guys, folks, you all have got to start looking this stuff up for yourself. I'm not saying that we are delivering to you the exact gospel on this, but you have to get rid of this mainstream media and you have to start doing your research. It's at a point where it's not, forget Democrat and forget Republican. Look, it's just us. When it boils down to it, it's going to be us against them. It don't matter if you're Democrat or Republican. And we're telling you all of this stuff to get you to realize that this is a bigger web of deceit, lies, treachery, treason than you can even imagine. And we'll still hear it. Oh, this is conspiracy theory. Well, no, it's not. It's not. It's not conspiracy anymore. They're just not even trying to hide it. The thing is, you have to look it up, and they're counting on the fact that you are too lazy to not look it up.
Yep.
That's what they're counting on. They're going to feed you every evening at 5 o'clock and at 10 o'clock and 24 hours a day on the news. They're going to give you your spoon. Here's your spoon. Take this. Just come on. Just take. There you go.
Speaking of which, the biggest, we just might as well go ahead and say goodbye to YouTube. I researched it, and now I found the truth. This is on, let's just see, the news is dragging. I gotta force you to get the vaccine now because it's been approved by the FDA.
Oh,
It's
God.
been approved by the FDA. It's been approved by the FDA. Pfizer has been approved by the FDA. Okay. Did you know there are 2 different Pfizer shots? A lot of people don't know that. There's the Pfizer, the one from the bio something. That's the one that everybody's getting right now.
Mm-hmm.
That shot did not get approved by the FDA. That shot got extended use under the Emergency Authorization Act.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It is not approved. The other Pfizer shot is being used in Europe, and it's Pfizer, it starts with a C, Comirnaty or something like that. That one got approved by the FTC or the FDA. Pfizer, are you ready for this? Pfizer made the decision not to give that vaccine out in the US because if they did, they would be liable for lawsuits.
Ah.
So the Pfizer vaccine you're being given now here in the United States is not FDA approved. Look it up. It's there in plain English. You can find it anywhere you look for it. The Pfizer shot that got approved is being used in Europe, not here, because they don't want the liability.
Yep. I told you it is the biggest web of lies and deceit. Now listen to me. My sister-in-law just had COVID. She went through it. She was sick, bad sick. They gave her a bag of medicine, sent her home. She has gotten better. She still hasn't taken the shot. You take it if you want. But ladies and gentlemen, we're telling you, they're blowing this up way more than what it is. We've said it before, H1N1 killed more people than what COVID did, and Obama didn't stop crap. Okay. You got to start thinking for yourself. That's the only way you're going to have a chance at surviving. What else we got, Bill?
Well, I think that's about what we got. We'll add about 40 minutes.
Okay. Well, I think I want to add this little bit too, because my mother asked me this question, and I'm going to try to explain it as quick as I can and be as detailed as I can, but not take too long. So my mother asked the question. She didn't understand why Afghanistan went into this chaos. She said, well, didn't they have their own army? Why did they go into this chaos? She said, I don't understand it. Why does us leaving cause the terrorists to take over? There may be some more of you out there that have this question. Let me explain it to you from someone who has been there, talking with other soldiers who have been there. I was at a base that was codenamed TK there in Afghanistan. The base I was at was US forces on one side, Afghan army on the other. The Afghan army was being trained to fully take over that base so that they could be self-sufficient. And those US troops could then pull out of that base and the ANA could then hold it. So, and this is from my experience being there, and I'll elaborate. So I'm there and you're working, there's no lights at night. I mean, this is where we were. This was pretty much a war zone. If you went outside, you had to have red light on or you walked around in the dark because you didn't want to give away your position. So I go out to the latrine and I'm walking outside and I'm kind of standing there and I look into the sky and there are like tracer rounds flying over my head out into the desert. I kind of look off toward the mountain range and there's rockets hitting in the mountain range. And I thought, okay, I looked around and like, there's nobody running for fighting positions. Nothing's going off. Do I need to grab my weapon? You know, what's going on? So I go back inside. I asked one of the lieutenants, I said, sir, what's going on out here? And he said, well, it's the last night of Ramadan and ANA celebrating. I said, by shooting off all of their ammunition? And he said, yeah. He said, they'll be over here tomorrow trying to get ammunition from us to keep them from being attacked. Now, I say that story because this is the mentality of the Afghanistans. I just told you that they literally shot off all their ammunition that they're supposed to have to protect and fight themselves with just to celebrate the last night of Ramadan. Yeah. So I say that because here's the thing, folks. Those people over there have been a tribal people for so long. They are not up to speed with the modern world. As you know, education among females is a no-no. No women get educated over there. Their education generally comes from their tribal elder or those who happen to be fortunate enough to be close political ties where they can go to school. But the majority of those people, they are tribal people and their knowledge comes from an elder. That's it. You don't learn anything else. So when you say, why can't we just leave them there and then protect themselves? They run at the drop of a hat. I'm sorry. That's just how they are. It is sad and the Taliban basically has all the strongest, most athletic individuals from each tribe, and what's left for ANA is like the C class and D class people. Sorry if that might offend you, but that is the honest truth. And they need our help. I've said it. I'm done.
I got one more thing real quick. Did you see Candace Owens' tweet?
No.
She's got a tweet that she just put out today that she's uncovered some documents somewhere. I don't know where it came from. I don't know if this is true. It's Candace. And Candace
Yeah.
is usually pretty well on point. She's uncovered documents where the CDC has drawn up plans for camps to put high-risk people in these camps so they don't infect the low-risk people. And they call us Nazis.
Okay.
That's from Candace Owens. So
Yeah. Once again, people, use your noggin. Use that gray matter that's between your ears. Think about this. And Bill, it's just like I said, they're not trying to hide it anymore.
and the CDC is pumping all kinds of money into the new health problem. Guns.
So that guns is a health problem now.
Yeah. Shootings have become a very tragic medical condition in America. Maybe
We'll
in
say,
Chicago.
I was going to say, we'll save that one for another show because I could talk all day about that one. Oh man, bless Candace Owens. All right, Bill. Is that about wind us up?
That's about got us.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen, hope you enjoyed the show. Sorry, last week we took a week off, had some things come up, but hope you enjoyed this show. Once again, when you're searching things, DuckDuckGo. Use that as your search engine if you really want the truth. Proton Mail, if you want a good secure email system where you can have your emails private. Wink, wink. We use it here, Blue Collar Minutemen at protonmail.com. Also, you can find us on MeWe, Spreely. We're on BitChute now, Bill.
Shoot.
We're on BitChute. We're probably getting ready to say bye-bye to YouTube.
Rumble.
Rumble. And like I said, check us out. Oh, don't forget our website at bluecollarminutemen.com.
And we are also on Facebook.
Yes, BCMM.
But I don't know how long we'll be there.
Yeah, it's.
Till
But
they
we are.
decide to throw us off.
I'll try to put a new blog up this week. Maybe give some people something to think about. But when you go to our website, shoot us an email. Tell us what you thought about the show, or give us your opinion. Whether you thought what we said was bad, what you thought we said was good, or what you think we should do for next show. We want to hear from you a little bit. So just shoot us an email. We'll welcome all emails, no matter what they say. Okay. But that's it from here. Oh, yeah, that's it from us, from Blue Collar Minutemen. I got tongue tied. You all have a great week. God bless you all, and God bless America.
God bless.